Hello, friends in Iraq. My name is Rob. I work at the American Embassy, and we want to tell you more about our country. We think we'll start with the states. We'll tell you more about all of the 50 states in the United States. We'll start with my state, Minnesota. Minnesota is in the middle of the United States, in the north. It's right next to Canada. So as you can tell, it will be very cold in Minnesota. It is so cold for half of the year that it can get to 50 degrees below zero. Maybe that's why I like Iraq so much, because it's warm almost all of the time. Now, another important thing in Minnesota is water. In Minnesota, we are home to the Mississippi River. It starts in Minnesota, and it's the longest river in all of the United States. We also have 15,000 lakes in our state. So a lot of places to go swimming, but if it's cold, you can't swim, there's too much ice, but we go ice fishing. That's right. We dig through the ice and we fish. Help! Minnesota is a very diverse state as well. We have large populations from Somalia and from East Asia, but we are well known for having a lot of Scandinavians. The people who settled Minnesota were from Sweden and Norway, and they are descendants of the Vikings, the famous Vikings. Now, the Vikings are the name of our football team, American football team. Yes, sports are very important in Minnesota. We play many sports, not just football. In Minnesota, we're famous for having creative minds. We have a lot of good ideas. For example, we invented Scotch tape, comes from Minnesota. We invented the stapler, comes from Minnesota. And we also have a lot of artists. We have one artist who made a famous sculpture of a cherry on a spoon. In Minnesota, one thing we're not famous for is food. We eat a lot, but the food here in Iraq is much better. I wish that in Minnesota we had mazgoof, but we don't, so I can eat it here when I'm in Iraq. My favorite place in Minnesota is called Lake Superior. It's the largest freshwater lake in the whole world. It's in Minnesota, and I like to go swimming and fishing and hiking there. So that is Minnesota. Now I want you to tell me more about Iraq. I looked at my map of Iraq, and I see near Baghdad, there's a city called Al-Muqtadiyah. I don't know anything about Al-Muqtadiyah, but it sounds like Minnesota. Muqtadiyah, Minnesota, Muqtadiyah. Can you tell me something about Al-Muqtadiyah? Use the comments and tell us more about that part of Iraq. Thank you very much. We'll see you when we talk about the next state.